Cool. All right. So I'm in our session with Jorian at the end of spring 2022, figuring out how to plug in the electronics. For now, the here's our electronics box. The main idea is that we got an XLR, we got not XLR, Cat5, RJ45, Ethernet looking cables here. This one goes in it. There's labels. Got the X1, X2, and Y. These two, it doesn't matter which X motor they go to because they're identical. So this can go here or this could go all the way over there. But the Y one does matter, so make sure you get that one absolutely correct. And then as far as what to do with the slack, just make sure that the slack kind of wraps up in these like little L brackets here. And here, zip tie and put it on the L bracket when you're done. And yeah, and then we'll, what else are we gonna, we got these plugged in now. So what else are we gotta do next?
We gotta get the box power.
We gotta get the box some power. But would that be maybe the last thing we do? Is
I mean,
power it on?
you could at least test it to make sure it still turns on. It's not a like without the motors, because the motors can add an extra layer of complexity. So it's
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe we can just see if it powers on at all.
all you gotta do is look for the LEDs that turn on and they stay on without going off. That's yeah.
I would recommend we remove power anytime we're plugging in other components, though, because you never know.
Oh yeah, especially the motors. Yeah, you can. They can be hot swaps. Like it's not the. It probably won't kill the machine, but I haven't done it. I don't personally recommend it. So yeah, definitely remove power when you're plugging in motors.
It's not a good thing to test, right?
Yeah, it's usually not. It's usually not a good thing.
Right. All right. So we'll work on plugging this thing in. After Bjorn figures that one out, what would be the next step?
Yeah, so then you just want to put the stepper motors. You want to plug them in, or you want to screw them basically into the drivers. So you should have those little square ones, those little square PCBs.
Yeah. So I see
Those guys.
basically these little square PCBs here.
Yes.
All right. And we got the motors, which are here, right?
Yep.
And so how do you get this onto this?
Yeah. So you see the blue terminal, the screw terminal on there, on the
Blue screw
PCB.
terminal. Yeah, I see these.
Yeah. So that one should be facing the cords coming out of the motor. So like that'll be on the same side. Yeah.
It'll be
You
on the
see all
same
those
side
cords.
as wires.
Yep. And then what's going to happen is that there should be there's a small 3D printed mount that goes with them. I told Bjorn about this last time, but I don't know if it got printed because it was only a couple of days.
This looks like a shroud right here. Is that?
Yeah, that one's for the smaller motor. That one's for the NEMA 17. So the one in your hand right now with the giant planetary gearbox, that's called the NEMA 23 motor. So that's a big one. That has a little custom mount for those PCBs because those PCBs were designed with NEMA 17 in mind. So.
Hey Bjorn, do we have any of those mounts for the NEMA 23 or whatever?
For testing, it doesn't matter, but when you do it in deployment, you'll need them. So
We're gonna need these for the actual deployment.
Right.
Who's in charge of getting these put
We've
together?
actually looked at it, and I don't think we saw it in the CAD model, Jorian. It looked like the bolts, they kind of just went in on the corners, but there was no like particular mount. Did that change? Did we just miss something?
no, that hasn't changed. That's been a feature for quite a while. I'll bring it up. I'll see. But yeah, I'll send you the file if you can't find it. Maybe it got deleted at some point. I don't know. But yeah, it's supposed to be included there.
So we're gonna need these. Yeah, we'll need these printed off as soon as possible because it takes a while.
Yeah, I mean they're small. Like the brackets themselves, or I call them adapters is what they are because it just adapts the 17 profile to a 23 profile. And that's all it does. So.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, yeah. So moving forward, though, you can still test everything today. All you gotta do, you guys have like a flathead screwdriver, like a little flathead?
Do we got a flathead screwdriver anywhere? Oh, here it is.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So you can use that. So you can unscrew those blue screw terminals. Just unscrew them like as far as they'll go.
Yeah.
Should be near. They should almost be flush.
All right. So Jorian, go ahead and talk shoot.
Yeah, I'll talk to Gavin. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna need new screws for this because it's gonna get longer?
These actually unscrew, don't they?
Unscrew them from the back, and then you put the little spacers on them.
Yeah, so the NEMA 17, they should unscrew. Some of the screws I found are long enough, like from the motor itself, you can just unplug them, or not unplug them, sorry. Unscrew them all the way. You can take them entirely out, and then just with a 2 or 3 millimeter spacer, they can go right back in because they have enough tolerance. But it's based on manufacturer. Like if you get them from Amazon, sometimes they come with long enough screws. If you get them from Alibaba, sometimes they don't. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah. So
Okay.
you just take them out and find out pretty much. I could not keep track of the supplier quality, unfortunately.
Alrighty.
Right. So we got
Spacers.
spacers. Are these the right?
Yeah, those little guys. Yeah. And just use like a 4 millimeter, 3 millimeter one on the back there. They should be labeled.
4 millimeter. I see 20 millimeter. I see 12 millimeter.
Yeah, it should be on the smallest one, like on the top left or something. Yeah.
Yeah, these only go down to 12 millimeter. Is that okay?
Oh, 12 millimeter. Ooh, they should be a lot smaller. Let me, can you show them?
Yeah, do we have other spacers that are a lot smaller around here? 'Cause we
Huh.
definitely ordered everything.
Snip it.
Yeah, you could just cut it, I guess.
Yeah, you just cut it. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Might also
I
be,
definitely had smaller ones somewhere.
these might not be labeled right because they're actually, these go way down. I'm
Yeah,
looking.
yeah, they probably, I don't know.
20
They probably are
millimeters.
labeled.
So we're just gonna go with the smallest ones, all right?
Yeah, just get the smallest ones you can on there. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. You don't have to worry about it right at the moment if you don't want to. But yeah, you could just unscrew them, put the spacer in. It should be pretty easy.
Yeah, do you have a better Phillips head or something that will unscrew those? Yeah, we got a Phillips head. Great.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, while he's taking that out, someone else could be screwing in the NEMA 23 motors
Yeah.
if you want to do that.
Okay. So who wants to screw in the NEMA 23 motors?
Don't we need the adapters for that?
No. So yeah. So what we're gonna
Just
do is we're just
test
gonna
the
plug in the motors, but we're not gonna mount them right now. Yeah. Since for a dry run, all you gotta do is make sure that they turn on and will spin. And that's all we care about.
Yeah. So who wants to wire up the NEMA 23 motors? Oh, so here's the NEMA 23 motor. So who's going to do it? Yeah, you will? All right. Here's the driver. And here's the screwdriver. And come over here, and Jorian's going to talk you through how to wire it up. All right. Yeah, so we have one kind of sitting here as well. And the wires are the same arrangement for the NEMA 23 as the what is it? NEMA 17?
Yeah. So the nice thing about those 23 motors is that the phases are the same. So it's red and blue are one phase, and green and black are another phase, right? So
Oh,
red,
the
blue should be
phases?
one pair, and black and green is one pair, right?
All right, red, blue are one pair,
Yeah.
black, green are the other pair.
Yeah. So they should split up like that.
You see it
And the way you're gonna make this work is that on that blue, so you see that blue screw terminal, right? So there should be 4 ports in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just make sure that the pairs go next to each other. So black, green one side, red, blue another side on this, right next to each other, basically.
Does it matter which way around they go?
It does not matter as long as you're consistent with all the motors. Because that way when the machine turns on, it'll either be backwards, in which case there's one bit you just flip in the settings and that'll make it go forwards. But yeah.
Okay, so
Let me pull up my I can pull up the photo that I took.
yeah, we got black, green, blue, red, basically.
That one.
Yeah. If you follow that
Copy
one
that.
for all the motors, then you should be fine.
Okay, let's just do that. So black, green, blue, red. Does it matter which motors go to which driver boards?
Does it matter which motor? You mean between like the blue ones and the green ones?
Yeah.
So I can lay the coil, right?
No, they're all the same. The only difference between blue and green, or at least the different revisions on those motor boards, is this: it's just a different power adapter, or power converter. Because the one on the green ones went out of stock, and they're not going to be back in stock until next year in April. So I had to figure out something else. So that's what the blue ones are. They're just new ones. They're just new power converters.
Got it. Okay.
which is actually very lucky that TI came out with a prototype part while I was looking, and so I was able to snag like 20 of those. So
that's so great.
so we could use them because everything else was out of stock. So
Jeez,
you guys are very lucky that that happened.
Yeah, and it's a plug-in replacement you got.
No, it was not. I had to reorder the boards. I had to redesign them.
Man. Wow.
But I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So it looks like the screws are too small for the NEMA 17.
Uh-oh, screws are too small. Oh, you mean they don't get the depth?
Yeah, so they won't let you screw the board into the NEMA 17 motor.
Okay. Yeah, that can happen. Here, I'll give you a link to the 40 millimeter ones I bought. They're on Amazon, so 2-day shipping. And I think they're only
Would
$5.
you email me that?
We have a couple.
Yeah. I can also post it in the Discord, so that way they have a record too.
Yeah. Yeah, if you post it on Discord, that'd be good. So Jorian will get us links to the longer screws.
Cool. I thought we had like a box of M3s.
Aren't big enough and still. Yeah. I'm actually kind of curious, Jorian. So when you screw the driver board onto the NEMA 17 motor, there's pins on the driver that on the underside, the solder side, they touch the metal of the motor. Like
oh, yeah, in which case just get a little bit longer spacer. I mean, you can also clip those pins off. I think that's what I did on one of them. Either way, if they touch, just get a little bit longer. Yeah.
So if they touch the motor, yeah, right. So here's another thing is when you're screwing it into the motor, I'll just show you. So you want to use spacers, with those longer screws. Make sure you use spacers to keep it off the motor. Okay. But anyhow, we can screw this in even if we can't mount it, right? We just gotta clip it and screw these into the. So you're getting water clip. Oh, you got longer screws. Yeah, spacers and those screws. Perfect. Okay. So we got black, green, blue, red.
Yep.
All right. And when these things wiggle around, Jorian, it tends to snap those connections that are in the screw terminals, right? So do we like just put some hot glue between the wires and the board or something, or?
Wiggle which way? Wiggle which part?
Oh, so when you got wires in these screw terminals, these are wiggle back and forth, and it eventually breaks the wire.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean, you can put hot glue. I don't know. The nice thing about these connectors is that if you tin them a little bit, that'll make them pretty stable. And then once you screw them in and you put the shroud on, they don't really come out because the idea is that you should never have to touch these after they're screwed in because they should be like they're done.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do we want to do the y-axis one too right now too? Get it all the way plugged
Yeah,
in?
you may as well. So what I suggest is do one 17 motors, that little one, so the y-axis, and then one of the big ones, and just have one for each, and that way you can test them, and that's it.
Yeah, you just got to strip it so the wires can attach. Do we have any wire strippers here? Exacto knife. Yeah, we don't got any wire strippers or soldering irons yet here. So.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, soldering iron, not that big a deal.
Oh,
Wire stripper is probably will need. Yeah.
Oh, do we got solder? Anyways, yeah, we'll figure out a way to strip them. Just be careful with that box cutter in your fingers.
Yeah. In the meantime, while they're doing that, did you guys find a power cable?
So Bjorn, did you get a power cable? Did you want to like plug it? You got to run it and plug it in. Is this?
I also need to plug it.
Is this the power source? Right here.
That's one of them. Yeah. So that's the one that's going to go for the new eBox. I already have one for the old eBox. Yeah.
Do you know where the power source is for the other one?
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you guys have a power strip in there?
We do. Well, we have like an extension cord, but we don't have like a power strip with multiple outlets.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We're gonna need one.
It might be.
No, you won't. I mean, it's okay. Just have one.
Wi-Fi as well as the thing, but like, I'm sure we can stretch it.
Yeah, you don't need. Yeah, you won't need Wi-Fi at the moment for this testing. For this round of testing, it's okay not to have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Well, speaking of it, where did the new router? Oh,
Yeah, new router's under my computer here. Yeah.
because we have the old one just in case. I wonder. Maybe.
You might be able to reach. Yeah, it might just dangle.
Hey, yeah, sure. Why not?
I'll try it.
I mean, we're using the old board, so it should fit with the new router anyways, right?
I tested it with the first.
Oh, it works fine.
Yeah, the only thing you need is like, is it DNS connectivity that you need for router, or like, what's the only requirement for that?
Yeah, what's the requirement for the router? You just need DNS connection.
Yeah. So the router has to be able to have a little DNS server on it, or at least be able to handle DNS requests. Some routers can do it. Some routers can't. I can't. Like, there should be a marker on the thing on the package that'll say if it's capable or not. Or you just Google it, like, for each model. The one I gave you guys, the black one, that one I know works and will be able to route. And sorry, the reason behind that is when the Jetson boots up, it gives itself a host name and it announces that basically to the router, and it says my name is HyperRail Jetson, and it'll get assigned an IP address. And so that way, when your computer is hooked up to the same network and you don't know automatically what the address it got assigned is, like, it might be 192.168.1.2.1.3.1.4, whatever, depending on how many clients are connected to. It depends, right? You don't know. But what you do know is the host name. And so you can always tell it, hey, router, I need to talk to HyperRail Jetson. And you just type in literally that HyperRail Jetson string into the command, and it will route traffic to where you need it to go. So that's why it's useful. So it's not a requirement in the fact that it's not like you have to have it in order for it to work. It's just more of it makes your life a lot easier, because that way you don't have to look up the IP address in the router.
Okay.
Especially for OSU, like if you plug this into the internet, OSU is not going to tell you what the IP address is. You have to go to IT and they have to track down, what the signal was. Versus, the host name, then you could just, do it from there. But that's down the road. That's if you connect to the internet.
All right, great. Thanks, Jorian. So we're still working on stripping some wires to get to the. Yeah, we got to strip those wires, right? Nice. Be careful. No trips to the hospital.
There's a first aid kit down the hall at the front. I've used it before.
What?
I said there's a first aid kit at the front of the greenhouse. I saw it.
Yeah.
I've used it before.
Yeah.
We found a power.
Oh, you found a power strip. Great. Good. Like the extension. Yeah, there you go. Right.
This guy. Maybe we should have put the extension cord right underneath the leaking windows.
Well, we're into.
Right here. Put it on this table.
We can move it later. Let's get things wired up, and then we can move the source.
Figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. So I was gonna say, Jet, you mind turning me over to the eBox real fast? I just want to check the wiring. Like, just confirm all the wiring, like plus to plus, minus to minus. If you can do a cursory check of that, then
Sure.
after that, then you should be good.
Hey, can I get
You can
around?
probably plug it in.
Great. All right. Okay. So, do you see anything particular?
Yeah, that was go to the bottom, kind of left. So there's a blue screw terminal on that purple board on the left-hand side. And actually, you'll probably have to check this because the resolution isn't great.
Yeah,
Check to make sure that white cable goes to plus and that black cable goes to minus.
I see VN and V minus.
Yeah. Yep. That's
Plus
good.
and minus. Yeah, so black, white. This is the ESP32 USB is hooked up to.
Thanks up
what
to the
is that?
Jetson.
Hooked
Right?
up to the Jetson. All right.
For this first test, you could probably unplug the Jetson, because it's not necessary to have the Jetson on for this. Well, maybe if you want to test the whole system, you could use
How
it.
would you
but-
unplug the Jetson?
Yeah, so on the left-hand side, there's a USB-C connection on the Jetson, I should say. So on the bottom left, there's a USB-C. That's power for the Jetson. So you can just kind of use your fingers and
Right here?
unplug that. Yeah, right there.
Okay. All right.
You can just unplug that and just kind of tuck that underneath like the plastic or somewhere else, just out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not touching anything.
Yeah. So yeah, yep. Now the Jetson's unplugged. So the Jetson will power on for this test, which is fine. That's good. But the ESP will power on because it's getting direct connected to the power supply. So yeah,
Right.
that's that white and black cable.
Hey, what's this thing?
Yeah, that's the Ethernet dongle. So that is going to talk to the camera, whatever camera you choose.
It's going to talk to the camera. Okay. And so it's going to make the camera what, an Ethernet thing?
Yeah, so the camera, the way the communication works is that it's through Ethernet. It's through a GigE connection.
Uh-huh.
And so that's for both cameras, by the way. That's for the Mica Sense or the black DFK cameras, those little
Really?
RGB ones. So yeah, that will just plug into whatever the output of the camera is.
Oh, wow. Okay. And they just both happen to be Ethernet?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I chose the camera I did, is because the Mica Sense was Ethernet, and so I was like, I don't want to change the design right now, so I just found another one that was cheap that also was Ethernet. And to be fair, like 80% of machine vision cameras out there right now are Gig Ethernet compatible, so it wasn't that hard.
Okay, great. All right. Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, everything else I think should be fine. You can check on the very top there. There should be that little black, what do you call it? Like just a little black square up there. Yeah, so make sure that you can see the cords underneath there. They're securely in, like nothing's dangling out or anything. I'm pretty sure I did that myself, so it should be okay.
Yeah, nothing's dangling. We got 12 at 24. That's the 12 volt power in. Output's going to be 5 volts, 3 amps.
Yep, that's good.
Okay, great. All right. Cool.
That's a Dell adapter. That black brick on the right hand side, that's the laptop adapter. Yep, that should be 19.5 volts. You don't have to check that. I already know that. That's good.
Right.
Make sure the spade terminals that are coming out of it, that's the AC connector. Just make sure that those are plugged in all the way. I've had sometimes troubles where like if you shake it, then sometimes those spades come off. You have to just re-crimp them or repinch them on.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a great solution, but
right. Yeah.
You just gotta check them when you run it. But as long as those are still on there, don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, they're still on. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Great.
I think you should be good. So if you go ahead and plug in power, there's a switch on the bottom. You might notice that there's on that AC plug, there's a switch that goes to 0 to 1. Turn it to 0 for now, like turn it off.
Make sure it's on 0. Good.
Yep. And then you can plug in AC power from the whatever cord you have available.
Yeah. So what cord do we got to be able to put power in? We got a power cord for it?
Got it in this model.
Okay.
So we can get it out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of there.
And that cord is a C13 or C14. I don't know. It's a standard cord that you'll see on like for your PC or for laptop chargers, other stuff. That's pretty typical. So you can find that almost everywhere. It's very ubiquitous. So if you don't have one, you can probably just go steal one from somewhere else. Just go to the computer lab and steal one from the IT people.
Yeah. Right.
Hold up.
So we got one right. That's not the same terminal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. A different standard. And so was that from the old Festoon system there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda. That's just it's just power for it's power and Ethernet are the two big ones. And yeah, that was for the old Festoon.
It was hanging on
Yeah.
the post.
But now we're just using Ethernet, right? We don't need to run a power cable. Or do we?
Power is still necessary for the eBox. Yeah.
But do we? Sorry for this Y carriage, right here.
Yeah.
Do we? I just see Ethernet. do we need to run power to the Y carriage?
So Ethernet for the motor is okay. That will serve for power and signal.
Yeah.
The camera, however, whatever camera you choose, will have to have its own set of cables routed. Either for the Mica Sense, it needs power. I think it needs power and Ethernet. And I think for the DFK, for that black one, I think it needs power and Ethernet because we don't have the PoE cables yet. I didn't make a standard I didn't make an ejector for that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, camera can come later.
All right. Well, it looks like we're getting the plug out. Oh, is that the, yeah, so this is Ethernet and then that little coaxial looking cable or serial.
Yeah, so yeah, that coax one, that's got power on it. There's just plus and minus, and the Ethernet is signal. You can use PoE with this version, but you need a PoE injector because it has to conform to the standard, and I just didn't buy one, so I just didn't want to deal with it.
Where's a ideal place to put this camera? Yeah.
You can honestly put it in either of those computers.
One of these boxes, not the one with there.
Okay. Okay, great.
Somewhere on the wall.
Still working on getting that power cable.
Yeah, it's a tangle. It's a mess.
Nice, gets me work. Makes it work.
So Jorian, did you see, I put the cable chain on the festive?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It works surprisingly well.
Does it really? I was kind of surprised about that. I was like, I thought we hated that thing.
Yeah, right. Well, it's for the, because I know you noticed with these, the Ethernet cord is getting all bundled up, and that was what was pushing the carriages around and messing them up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Cool. Okay, yeah. I like it.
that's about right.
Sweet. Yep. So go ahead and plug that in on the bottom, and then you can use
To the bottom,
the
next to the
you can just plug that into AC power from wherever power strip you have available.
nice. And then that'll go into the power strip.
Cool. Make sure, so now you can check down the line. So make sure the power strip is on. Make sure the power strip has the red LED or whatever turned on.
Very good.
Cool. Okay. So now what you can do is, Bjorn, if you want to go on the switch in the bottom, you can press that on. If anything happens, then just turn it off immediately. Like you see smoke or you hear a crackle or anything, you can just turn it off. But yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah.
Now look and see. So you see the lights. Do all three lights turn on?
Yes. All three.
Okay,
lights.
that's good. Yeah. There should be three kind of like white LEDs on the right-hand side, and there's a red one in the middle.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so the red one's for the ESP that you can see that now has power, and the white one's on the right-hand side. Unfortunately, that's the part I forgot to label, but in descending order, so from the left to the right are the voltage levels. So you can see 3.3 volts, 5 volts, 24 volts. So if they're all lit, that means you have all the voltage levels you need to run the system.
Okay. Yep, they're all there. They're all lit.
Cool. Okay, so you can turn that off. Or actually if you want to keep it on, check your phone, see if it is emitting the Wi-Fi.
Okay. So, and the Wi-Fi signal, what is that going to be exactly?
So the ESP32, that little board in the center, the way the firmware is configured is that it will emit a Wi-Fi signal. That it's also like a router basically.
Verbal ESP.
Yeah, Gerbil ESP is what it's called. The password I think is just 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, like 1 through 8.
Okay. Who's gonna?
It'll. Yeah. So once you log in, it should ask. It should do a capture portal. So it'll basically redirect you to a website. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on your phone. So who's gonna log in on their phone? Who wants to do it?
Yeah, you can do phone, or if someone has a laptop that's not checked.
Okay, we're logged in. We got Gerbil ESP.
Okay, cool.
Logged in. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, there you go. So you can command it from there. So you can like tell it to do stuff.
Okay. All right. Now,
So yeah, if you can get to that, then that's pretty much all you have to do for the moment. So you can turn it off, and now you can plug in some motors.
All right, let's turn it off. Is off now? Good. Let's plug in some motors.
So I'd say plug in the X motor first. So plug in one X motor, and then don't plug anything else. So you test it bit by bit. So that way, when you add a motor and something doesn't turn on, you know that's the one that's faulty.
That's right. Yep. Good idea.
Okay, so you see that one? Make sure that's not touching anything metal. So make sure it's not, not yeah. That looks okay. And do you have the driver plugged in right now?
Yes.
Yes, it's plugged into the Ethernet. Yes.
There's a little that Bjorn, you remember what I showed you about the little daughter boards that go on there? The trinamic drivers?
Oh.
Those little
the ones that plug into there. Yeah, you'll need that.
Oh, we're missing one, huh? Okay, well, this one is this one we're gonna use?
Yeah, you can use that one. That's fine.
Let's just use this one. Oh wait, this is this is for this.
That's technically a Y motor, but it doesn't matter.
That's the
You can plug it
Y.
into X.
Never mind.
Yeah.
We're good. We good. Wait, do we need this one for the Y as well? Is there another one?
We can kind of take it.
Let's take this one off then.
Yeah.
How would you?
Yeah, so you'll see so the way to line those up is that there are 3 pins on the back of it.
Yeah.
And you might want to show that on the screen so that way for the recording people can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So why don't you be the one to unplug the thing and I'll show the camera here. All right.
3 pins.
Yeah, so you see the 3 pins on the back away from the Ethernet cable or connector. Yeah, on the back there. Yeah. So that's the orientation you want to put it on. Unfortunately, there's not like an arrow or anything that I could put on there to indicate it. The only thing I do is that you just line up the pins with each other. So you can see on the board that doesn't have a stepper on it, you can see there are like a cluster of 3 pins on the back.
Yeah, I see the red 3 pins back there.
Yeah, exactly. And you just gotta line those up, and then just make sure to line up the cables with each other, or sorry, not cables, pins with each other.
Yeah.
And you just insert it and plug it all the way in, and then just make sure that all the pins are aligned and they're all plugged in securely.
Nice. All right, and then we'll plug the Ethernet back in.
Yep. So now plug it in. Okay. So what you're gonna do is so there's 2 steps to this. One is someone's gonna be at the helm, basically commanding power. So when you turn power on, so don't do it yet. But when you turn power on, the person that's watching the motor, make sure there are 2 LEDs that light up, and the motor should make a little click noise. If that doesn't happen, or if the lights don't turn on, just turn off the whole system, and we'll diagnose it from there.
Okay. All right. LEDs are going to be on the board.
Yeah, LEDs should be on the opposite side, or not the opposite, but on either side of the blue screw terminals. You should see 2 LEDs that light up.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so go ahead and turn it on.
2 lights.
We got LEDs.
Yep, 2 lights, and as long as they're staying on and they haven't turned off yet, then you're good.
All right.
Cool.
Great.
Okay, so now when you go to the motor, try and spin the motor with your hands.
It's not moving.
Can you easily spin it?
No.
Good. So that means it's energized.
Cool.
Because if you were able to spin it, that means the stepper driver is not sending power to the motor. Because once it sends power, that motor is locked. It's basically got magnets on, so you can't. It's very hard to spin.
Okay.
You're basically back driving it. So anyway, now that's turned on, someone with your phone, go ahead and connect to the Wi-Fi again, and then tell the X motors to move a direction. Doesn't matter which direction, just choose one. You can tell it to move based on the like that little, I don't know what to call it, like a joystick, I guess. Yeah, that guy right there, then the center. So the X's are on the right and left. Yep. All you gotta do is go to like the outer ring. So the outer ring is 100 millimeters, next step in is 10, then 1, then 0.1. So do like 10 and then see if it spins.
Is it moving?
Nope.
I think you're clicking 1. Try going out one more layer or one more ring, I guess.
Yeah, go to the outer ring.
It stopped. It's not working.
It's just making a buzzing sound.
I think it got stuck.
Okay, so if it's making a buzzing sound, how high is is it pretty loud?
No, it's like.
Sounds like a phone on a table.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I mean that could just be that the motor wires they have to be reversed. So send the command again and feel the motor. If it starts vibrating like kind of violently, then you could probably reverse the motors or reverse the leads.
Yeah, vibrated. So reverse what leads?
Yeah, okay, so go ahead and turn it off real fast. And let me pull up the picture of what I have for the motor leads. Sometimes it just comes down to like trial and error for these stupid motors, where it's just like which leads go where. So let's see. So I have, oh my gosh. In my picture, I have green and black on the top, like on the let's see, towards the Ethernet connector, I have green, then black.
Okay.
And then after that, blue, then red. And I can share this image with you guys.
They're all swaps, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it shouldn't matter, but it might. I don't know. Try it that configuration, because that's the one I know works. Like the thing about motors is that as long as you got the phases in order, then it should work just fine. It'll just be reversed, but don't quote me on that. That's motors are magic. In the meantime, while they're switching, you guys could take the stepper driver out and test one of the smaller motors and see if that one works.
Just one of the NEMA 17s.
Yeah, you could just try one of the smaller ones, just as easily.
Yeah, which one was the one I had? This one. All right, here. So you want to do the Y, plug in the Y?
Yep.
I think the Y is way over there, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's go. The Y is over here. Sorry.
Yeah, is it tucked up there? Yeah. Okay.
It's they were all wired the same direction, so
Okay, yeah.
this one will.
Yeah, you could try it out. Just see what happens.
All right.
If you get the same result, then you know it's the wiring issue. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and you make sure that guy's not shorted, like he's not touching the bottom or anything.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, there's no metal. There's no metal.
Yeah, no metal touching any of the bottom. Yeah.
Good. And
Cool.
did
Okay,
you-
so if someone, Bjorn, I think if you're free, you want to go over to the eBox and you'll be the power guy, and then Gavin, you just have to take a look at the LEDs.
Yeah.
All right. So you just got to flip power on to the.
Yeah. Oh, you're good?
Yeah. All right. Good. Let's flip. Well, we're gonna.
And if you hear it, if you see any sparks or smoke, then just instantly turn it off.
Turn it on. You see lights?
Yeah,
Yeah,
both lights on.
Okay, cool. You got lights. That's good. Try and backdrive the motor. So just try and spin the shaft.
No, it's good. Solid.
Okay, it's solid. Excellent. Yep. So go ahead and try and spin it around.
Okay.
Hey, it's
Oh, it worked.
fun. It works.
Okay, that one works. That's good.
Yeah. Should we turn it off and test the X again?
Yeah, so it might just be the X ones are weird. Yeah, so go ahead and turn it off and we'll plug in the X ones. You can keep that plugged in, by the way. That one's probably fine.
The Y is plugged in and staying plugged in. It's good. All right. Nice. All right, want to power this on and check it out? Okay. Good.
Cool. You got LEDs. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Connecting. All right, we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still vibrating. Try one more time.
Vibrated only for a brief second.
It's for a 10. Yeah, so it's just vibrating.
Okay.
Should we try a different driver?
Yeah, you could try a different driver. Can you zoom in on the driver real fast? I just want to take a look at that.
Yeah, put it in that.
Huh. Yeah, it should be okay. I don't see. Can you pull it up a little bit so it's centered?
Try this.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Yeah, the pins look aligned. Check the that. So on the right hand side, you see a little dip switch on there.
Yeah, there's a dip switch. It's got-
Yeah, check the configuration of the dip switch against the green one. So you see how one, like they're pointed like up, or whatever, or down,
all
down.
down. They're all down on the green one.
Okay, so yeah, why don't you change that? So turn it off and change that dip switch real fast.
Okay.
And you to change the dip switch, all you gotta do is just get a little screwdriver and just kind of pinch it down. Like it's kind of hard to do with your hands, unfortunately, because it's small. I tried to find a dip switch that was cheap that you could do it with your hand.
Yeah,
but
there's
yeah,
also tape on there too. Should we take the tape off?
oh yeah, you might have to take the tape off. Yeah, or just cut through the tape. Either one.
Yeah, I may need to cut through the tape. Yeah, the X-Acto knife. Box cutter. All right, be careful.
That makes one of us. You could set it down too. That might be easier than trying to hold it.
Nice.
Yeah, what I do in the past is I just got like a little flathead, like the one I used to do the screw terminals, and I just kind of push that in, pry it to go like move it back and forth. That's worked pretty well for me.
All right, so let's take a look. These are all, they all appear to be up.
Okay, so yeah, change that to either be, yeah, change it all to be down or whatever, copy whatever's on the green one.
All right. Yeah, like a little screwdriver ought to be able to do it.
And they might be tough because I know these ones got, I remember these ones got a little bit melted because they got, because the oven was on for a little bit
That one
long.
broke off. Oh, they both broke off.
Oh, that's not good.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, in which case, I mean, the most important one is going to be on the very far right. Try your best to get that one to be pushed down, like the switch itself, hopefully without breaking it.
Pretty
Yeah, it
melted
looks-
that one.
It looks kind of melted, actually. Should these be?
Yeah,
melted?
I had to get new switches because the other ones were out of stock, and I think these ones weren't as well tolerant of heat as the other ones.
Oh, I see. So, I mean, let's just switch it out. Yeah.
We've got an extra board, right?
Yeah, we got this blue board here. And we'll just make sure these are all in the down position before we power it up. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, just make sure that they're all the same position.
This is pretty melted too, dude. Yeah, this one, they're all down on the green board. That one looks kind of like it's melted in place as well.
It's a little charred, not too bad.
Well, when I tested that one had the tape on it that I had
Yeah.
from Jorian's. That one worked.
Yeah, this one should work, right?
Okay, yeah. So plug that in and see what happens. Yeah.
So I mean,
Okay.
at this point, it might as well.
All right, let's unplug.
We need to change the orientation.
Let's just test it out on the smaller motor here. I mean, it should work the same, just,
Is that on the white?
Oh, we need the.
it's fine, because, I mean, yeah, we'll just drive that one, but it's okay with, oh, we do need the, this thing, yeah. That board, yeah.
And the 3 trip back.
Yeah, that way.
That's the whole. That's as far back as I get.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all holes.
Got all the holes? Alright. Well, let's turn it on and see what happens. All right.
LEDs. One. It's making a buzzing for a little.
We only see one LED on this one. Turn it.
Bjorn, can you check the LED? Does that one actually have it, or does that one have a resistor next to it?
It does not have a resistor.
Okay, yeah, then it probably won't light up. Yeah, the resistor got
okay.
torn off. I think that was one of the ones that got broken. It's okay. Yeah, that one, as long as the LED, one of the LEDs is on, you should be okay. Unfortunately, if there actually is a problem and the LED is no, you're not gonna see it. But yeah, I had to do what I had to do because we had to get the boards manufactured.
All right, go try it.
Full set.
Yeah, go ahead and try it. Yeah, go ahead and move them.
Not yet.
Are you doing the
Go
X
again.
or the Y?
It's X.
The X. Okay.
One more.
It's doing it, but nothing's. Oh, did it turn?
Yeah,
Try again.
100.
Yeah. Yeah. and it's gone plenty. Yeah, that's good. So
Okay,
now-
okay. As long as it's the signals are getting sent, then now you can kind of isolate to the motor and figure out what's going on with the motor.
Yeah, so this
Well, it
was
could be the board too.
green,
Yes, that's true.
red, or sorry, this was black, what is it? Black, red, green, no, blue, blue, red, green, black.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Copy that with the big motors and with that same board and see what happens.
Blue, green, red, black.
Starting at the Ethernet side.
No, blue, red, it's blue, red, green, black. Yep. All right, cool. So I guess we'll just, so we can swap this motor for this one?
Yeah, and just test that out. Yep.
Go for it. Are we powered down?
Yeah.
Great. And so we thankfully got one last board here, but not sure if, I guess we just got to swap. But do we have another one of those like little chips that go here?
Yeah, wait, Chet. So I sent you an email about that. Did we end up buying those?
I'm not sure. I
L-
thought I
Let
purchased
me
all the things that I got emails for, but it probably is maybe not.
let me see.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't actually remember buying that. I don't-
Oh, yes, I sent it. I sent it to Bjorn, but you weren't CC'd. Okay.
Bjorn, what's that picture?
I will put it on the draft of stuff to buy with the
Blue,
Yeah, it's the same.
red, green, black.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to order some of those like Rush.
No, it's on Amazon. They'll get there in 2 days. You'll be fine.
Okay. Did you email me a link?
I have a draft up right now. I'm waiting until the end of the meeting before I send it. That way, in case there's anything else.
What we can do is when we fit the motors, we can just use the wide motor, wide carriage to test some of the movement on the axis, and then when we get the new replacement.
I mean, well, so in the box of stuff, there should have been like 3 or 4 of those motor drivers. Like there should be a little pack of them somewhere.
Yeah, do you see?
So yeah, so check through that when you get a chance. Otherwise, I mean, they're only $5 a piece or like $6 a piece. So I think the pack I sent you gets you a pack of 6 for like $30. So I'd say just buy them, and then that way you have a bunch of extras. Because if one of them dies, then you have tons of spares. So
What packaging do they come in?
Ethernet.
the last thing, so this part doesn't work. The last thing I would say you could check is sometimes those bigger motors need more current because they're bigger. So they need more magnetic force in order to like accurately spin and actually turn. So on all of those stepper drivers, there should be a small circular like silver thing. If you see it.
I'm taking a look at this one attached to the other X.
Oh, sorry. It's on the actual driver itself, not the little boards.
Oh, okay.
So it's on.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you see that little silver guy? So
Yeah.
it should say current or somewhere on there. If you turn it, let's see. I think I'm pretty sure it's clockwise. It might say it on there. If you turn it clockwise, that'll increase motor current.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's try
So
it.
that'll be that's kind of a last resort though, because usually you don't want to overpower it because then it overheats really fast. But I mean, you can max it out and it should be fine.
The LED is on.
LED
Okay.
doesn't move.
Doesn't twist. Gavin?
Okay. Go ahead and send a command. See what happens.
Yep.
Check my battery. I got 20% left.
We have a hardboard if you've got yours.
USB-C.
The whole team there?
All right, next.
Dang, working hard. What did they do?
Oh, yeah.
vibrating.
I could plug it in. You're
Putting
right.
the robot together?
I'm not muted, by the way.
Vibrating.
Hi there.
How many people are on the team?
I don't
Jorian
know.
is amazing. He's very, very important.
You're flattering me right now.
He's showing us how to do the things.
Oh.
No, they were.
Oh, how are you hear?
I got.
Oh, you have an
earbud.
earbud. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't hear them talking.
Yeah, no. I have earbuds in.
Huh.
We're walking through the electronics.
We do it.
Oh. Wait, how many people did you say on the team? Or this is the mechanical team?
No, it's like, well, it's
Moving at all.
half mechanical and one IE.
Yeah, this one isn't moving at all. So
Sure.
you worked
Yeah.
it with this motor, right?
Yeah, worked on this motor.
Okay, so I guess, should we turn the power off before we adjust the current or just adjust the current?
Yeah, turn power off and then just kind of slowly turn it. Usually it's like, let me think. For these ones, it's 2 turns is usually max. So just kind of do it like maybe 1 or half full turn, like or a half or 1 full turn. Just pick in between there.
Like little jeweler screwdrivers.
Oh yeah, it is unfortunately very tiny. Yeah, you do have to get a small screwdriver.
I tried Tucker's kit.
Which I mean, I guess that's by intention. That way it doesn't accidentally change the current while you're using it.
I don't have any jewelers.
How's this one?
Have any jewelers?
That looks like it's a normal one. You can probably get the flathead then.
All right, so we want to go clockwise?
Yeah, try.
Yeah, clockwise. And I'll look up on the Amazon package. I think it says it, so I'll pull that up too.
All right, so you give it
confirm.
a full turn, some
Give it like a quarter.
quarter turn. How many turns should we do?
2 turns is max. So if you go like 1 to like 1.5 to 1, that should be fine.
All right,
Like 1.
all right. Power it on and see what happens again. All right. It's not moving.
Still loading.
Okay,
Power's on.
yeah, power's on.
Oh, there it is.
All right, trying 10. No, I don't feel it or see. I don't feel any vibrations either. Oh,
Okay, let's see. I got the data sheet up.
it's moving very slowly.
Yeah, maybe
That's intentional. Yeah, that's intentional. So that
It's moving,
that
but
planetary
super
gearbox.
slow.
Yeah, so that planetary gearbox on there is a 47-to-1 reduction. So it'll
Yeah.
who's got the phone right now?
it's working.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Okay, so Gavin, so if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see something like millimeters per second, millimeters per minute. I think it's per minute. Yeah, what's it set right now?
1,000 millimeters
1,000?
per minute.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So 1,000 is really small. So try changing it to like I don't know, 2,000, just double it. Okay, so once it's changed, now send the same command. It should double the speed.
It's working.
Yeah, it's going twice as fast. Still
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So in the settings that I configured for the like software, that's just I just have that pre-programmed in. I think it's at 6,000. So that's how fast we usually go.
Oh, it's vibrating. Okay.
So
went to
try
5,000,
when
so
you
it's
try to
vibrating.
do 6,000, it just vibrated.
Or 5,000.
Okay, yeah. Try going down a little bit then. I can't yet.
Gearbox? Might just be too fast.
So it's just like
Yeah, try 3,000. There'll be a marker where at a certain point it starts to torque out and there's too much current.
Nope.
so about 2,000 is how high it goes.
Yeah, you could also turn up the power on the stepper driver and that'll probably help.
Yeah.
Probably while it's off.
Well, we got you. That was the last time we saw Justin.
Yeah, pop.
I mean, it's okay. It's not like it. I think the voltage on that screw thing is like maybe 2
Yeah,
volts,
there you
and
go.
the max it goes up to is like 3. So it's not going to kill you. It's just if you actually short it, like you move the screwdriver on something, that'll definitely kill it. So
Yeah, if you touch, a couple of leads with the screwdriver, you're done. Yeah, or you could be done.
You're not dead. You're just off the project.
You're
You go from check to roast check.
on the bench.
All right, I'm gonna try 3,000.
Over 9,000.
All right. Is that what the scanner said?
Yep. Well, it's not vibrating. Try it again. Yeah, it's moving.
okay, that's good.
Nice.
All right.
And the other thing that I have to keep in mind is that when you add that pulley on there, that the radius of the pulley adds a lot of movement, like the speed, basically.
Yeah,
So.
right. Yeah, it doesn't need to go all that fast. Yeah.
It's definitely moving.
It's cooking.
It's 5,000.
Yep, so it's doing 5,000 easy. So maybe it was wired up just fine. We just
Yeah, we just had to turn up the power, and those things, like the little screws are normally pretty stable, like they don't change them by themselves. But if they get jostled or something, or if they're like a backpack, like for me, I know it'll sometimes turn them the opposite direction. So
all right. So we got one on here, we got one on the Y. We need the other X. So can we just take the one off the Y and stick it on the X for now?
yeah, so if you go ahead and turn everything off, plug in the next X, and then yeah, you can try both at the same time, make sure they're working parallel. And that's pretty much, I think for the amount of testing, I think that's pretty good.
Right, and then from there, it's just a matter of mounting these dang things to the where they need to be.
Yeah, because after that, then it's software related, and the software can be done pretty
We didn't
quickly.
need to disconnect the whole thing. We just need to take the chip off of here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, stick them in there. Just stick them wires back in there.
Pretty much if you remember how that works, and things move in unison.
And did we hook this up the same way? It looks like we want it to be red, blue. No. Blue, red, green, black. So red and blue are swapped on this one.
Yeah.
So let's swap the. So swap the red and the blue wire. Should be blue, red.
So it doesn't slide up and down anymore?
No, so
That's all we need.
it's snugged up, and then I put the second one on the bottom, so it's not all walked out. It's uneven.
I mean, no, we printed it perfect.
Wow.
If I throw washers on those ones, I'm not gonna be able to guess.
Okay,
All right. Gonna plug this one in.
not if you push the power switch. Upside down.
Or power.
All right. Ready?
All right. Did you want to hold it while Gavin does his thing with the phone?
Ready, click. Power's on. Doesn't want to rotate. All right.
This would be a nice way to see if that pulling out.
Key.
Oh,
What's the current? Is the current do you rotate it? Yeah, we got
Okay. It'll be hard to check current. I mean, you have to get a multimeter basically. So you just try and turn it. If it doesn't turn, then increase current.
1,000.
Nice.
It's vibrating. So
Oh,
if I were to turn up
vibrating.
the current a little.
Yeah, it turned a little bit, then it started vibrating. So yeah, probably.
And you probably do one full turn for that one, because yeah, honestly, if you for these ones in particular, if you max them out, it probably won't be it's not the worst thing in the world. Especially with these the chips that we have on there right now. Like you see that big copper or the gold plated thing, that's all heat sink. So you can just put another heat sink on there if you ever have problems with heat.
Oh, I see. Is that why you put the copper face out instead of the silicone face out?
Yep.
Okay, 3,000.
Great. That's spinning real fast.
Wow.
What is the speed on that?
3,000
Oh, 3,000.
millimeter per minute.
It looks like it's spinning extra fast because of the gear or the.
Yeah, with the pulley on it, looks a lot better, right?
Yeah, it looks way better with the pulley on it. Yeah, looks like it's actually doing something. All right, cool. So we tested it out. High fives, people.
Hey,
America.
Can I get a ride on?
Hey, right on.
Sweet. Yeah, right.
Hey, so what do we do now? Like, what's the kind of the next big thing, Jorian?
Yeah, so next thing is that if you get everything mounted, just try and test it bit by bit with either the phone or you can get a laptop and just move it like X-axis first, then do X, then do Y, and then do X and Y at the same time. Just make it move, and that's all you gotta do. So.
All right.
I would say just a bunch of dry testing to make sure that both of the X motors move in unison.
Yeah, and also the biggest thing that's going to happen is that you got to make sure that the X motors, when they move, that they like not only move in unison, but like there's no blockages on the rails and there's nothing like, you know, that could catch or anything. Like just do a full profile back and forth like constantly. Cause I did like, I don't know, 100 of those tests before, you know, getting it pretty tuned in. So.
Yeah, well, and I'm also looking at this. Looks like the wheels aren't like quite on the tracks. Is that right?
They're going down the middle now.
They're going down the middle.
That's by design.
Oh, that's by design. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I was talking to Nick, it's, yeah, it is just to reduce friction because you're not running on the side.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, and there's no issues with slippage? Like
Not
as far
tested.
as going,
Not that we know of. Hasn't been tested yet. We'll
hasn't been
find out.
tested.
But yeah, pretty much
Pretty-
you just, you take the motor, you stick it in this guy,
Uh-huh.
you slide it on,
It drives it on a track, huh? Okay,
and then the Y carriage, just
interesting.
dump on these things through
All right,
10 pounds. And
cool. Well, thanks, Jorian. I really appreciate your time.
Yep, no
This
problem.
is a very big deal. There's no way I would have figured that out. Yeah, thanks, Jorian.
Great. Okay, good luck, guys.
All right,
I'll
good
see you
luck.
guys later. Let me know if you have any other issues.
Send me that email, man. I got to order the thing.
Yeah. I'll send that draft right now.